Imagine being early to Bitcoin. Not just early, but very early. Early enough to own hundreds of thousands of coins when almost no one cared. Early enough that today, you would have been one of the richest people on earth. Now imagine losing all of it. Not in a hack. Not by forgetting your keys, but because of one badly executed crime. This is the story of Michael Mansell Brown. Back in Bitcoin's earliest days, Brown was deeply embedded in the community. He was active on Bitcoin Talk forums, discussing Bitcoin's mechanics when the network was still experimental. He even claimed to have exchanged messages with Bitcoin's creator, Satoshi Nakamoto, and said he knew details that could prove someone's identity if they ever tried to impersonate him. More importantly, Brown got access to Bitcoin before it had a price. According to court records and his own statements, Brown acquired around 371,000 BTC after striking a deal with a bank that had briefly experimented with Bitcoin and then abandoned it. He reportedly paid just a few $1,000s for the entire stash, roughly 1 cent per coin. At Bitcoin's peak years later, that amount would have been worth tens of billions. But Brown's story didn't stay confined to crypto forums. Even before Bitcoin gained attention, he had already drawn interest from law enforcement for unrelated data theft allegations. Then, in 2012, he made a decision that would permanently change his life. That year, as the US presidential election approached, letters were sent to several political and corporate offices. They claimed a hacker had stolen years of sensitive tax records belonging to a presidential candidate. The demand was simple: pay $1 million in Bitcoin, or the documents would be released. It was one of the first major ransom attempts involving Bitcoin, and it immediately caught federal attention. What unraveled the scheme wasn't blockchain analysis or advanced forensics. It was basic mistakes. The digital files attached to the letters contained usernames and personal references that matched Brown's online identity. Even photos, buried inside the data, traced back to people connected to him in real life. Investigators searched his home, found matching evidence on his computer, and the case quickly collapsed. Brown was charged, convicted of fraud and extortion, and sentenced to prison. By the time the case closed, the biggest question wasn't about the crime. It was about the Bitcoin. Where did the 371,000 coins go? Brown claimed much of it had been donated years earlier, including large amounts sent to WikiLeaks, and the rest used to cover debts. Whether that's fully true remains unclear, but what is clear is that the Bitcoin was gone. Michael Mansell Brown didn't lose his fortune to code, markets, or technology. He lost it to human error. In a system where access equals ownership, the biggest risks aren't always technical. Sometimes they're personal. And that's why his name lives on in Bitcoin history, not as a billionaire, but as a warning. Thanks for watching. If you've got questions or thoughts, drop them in the comments. We're happy to reply. At Mudley Group, we're building a space where anyone can learn trading, improve together, and feel supported, whether you're brand new or already trading. Follow the channel, like the video, and check the description for useful links. See you in the next one.